Fans are filing into ancient Fenway Park, which opened up in 1912. It'll be another full house for the Yankees and the Red Sox. Now time for Discipline That Delivers, brought to you by Vanguard. And this is a guy who always delivers, the captain of the Yankees, Aaron Judge. Since the beginning of 2004, the 2 years that he's won MVP, Judge in 30 games against the Red Sox, .313, 10 homers, 24 runs batted in, and an impressive OPS of 1.046. Seems like he rises to the moment, Joe.
Yeah, you put that in perspective. That's 50-plus homers, 125-plus RBIs, and a 162-game season, so pretty good.
All right, when we come back, lineups, first pitch, baseball, Yankees, Red Sox, live on Prime, live from Fenway Park in Boston, Mass. Well, it felt like 30 degrees last night at Fenway Park. The ball players were really cold. Aaron Boone had maybe 4 layers, but it was warmer because they ended up winning. I'm sure it was colder for the Red Sox, so it's supposed to be a little bit better tonight. It was raining earlier. They didn't put the tarp on, so the field is in pretty good shape. And it's the Yankees and the Red Sox, so that always adds something. And the Red Sox right now are struggling while the Yankees have won 4 in a row.
Yeah, they're struggling scoring runs. In the last 5 games, they've only scored 12. And in one of the games on Monday, they scored 8. So you can see the struggles are there. The power has not been there for them. They have a lot of guys with low averages, and, you know, they're trying to find anything to get a couple guys going and score some more runs.
And they talked yesterday because their game plan against Heel, who has a propensity to walk people, was to take pitches. And there was a 2-minute inning, there was a 1 and 30-minute inning, and they did not make Luis Heel work.
Not at all. I mean, I think there was like a 5-pitch inning, Michael, and,
yeah.
And that's unusual when your game plan is to take pitches. But I've seen that all year from them, you know, and part of it could have been they were facing Skubal and some other really tough pitchers, but they're aggressive early in the count.
Now you wonder, you can't really lose a season in April, but you can make it very difficult for yourself. So the Yankees, they've lost some games that they would like to have back, but they're 14-9. They sit atop the American League East. The Red Sox, well, it's not even at the end of April, and they're 5 games back. So, as Yogi used to say, it gets late early sometimes.
Yeah, but you know, you put that in perspective, they got to pick up 1 game a month.
Right.
You know, if you start in May to catch up. But you don't want this to snowball in 9 and 14 turn into 10 and 20. That's what you don't want. So they need to turn things around, and most of it is offensive. And their ace, Garrett Crochet, has really struggled.
That's the biggest concern of all. So Ranger Suarez takes the mound, about to begin his warm-ups, and we'll take a look at the Yankees starting lineup. A lot of good left-handers on the bench. So Paul Goldschmidt starts at first base and leads off. Aaron Judge in right, Cody Bellinger in center. Last night's hero, Giancarlo Stanton, will be the DH and cleanup. Ahmed Rosario, he started every game this year against a left-handed starter. He does it again at third base. Randall Grichuk at left, Jazz Chisholm at second, Jose Caballero, the shortstop, bats 8th, and batting 9th and catching, Austin Wells. And that lineup means no Grisham, no McMahon, no Rice in the starting order.
See, Ranger Suarez, this is his 5th start. The ERA is pretty good, but he's really picked it up. And let's take a look at the scouting report on Ranger Suarez. He's been on a roll. His first 2 starts, he gave up 8 runs and 8 1/3. The last 2, 14 innings pitched, 0 runs. He's a tunnel master, Michael. He's going to make a lot of pitches look identical until the last 20 feet, and they're going to break different ways, and they're going to be different speeds. And he's built for big moments. He has a career ERA of 3.37, but in 11 postseason appearances, 8 starts, 1.48 ERA.
Now let's take a look at the defense behind him. Now you notice there is no Roman Anthony. He's out of tonight's lineup with a sore back. He could be back tomorrow. So they have Duran in left. Raffaello made a great play yesterday in center. Wilyer Abreu over in right. In the infield, Durbin, Story, Connor Falefa, and Contreras third to first. Connor Wong gets start behind the plate. Andrew Monasterio is the DH, and Ranger Suarez is on the mound. All right, the home plate umpire is Todd Titchener. He's the crew chief. He's considered hitter-friendly, so he's had 17 calls challenged. 10 have been overturned, so he calls fewer low strikes, fewer high strikes on righty batters, and he's the crew chief, as I mentioned, in his 20th big league season. John Lipka at first, Clint Vondrak at second, Austin Jones is over at third. So you're all set up to enjoy tonight's game here on Prime, the Yankees and the Red Sox. Goldschmidt's ready. Suarez is ready. let's do it here in Boston. First pitch is a strike. We're underway.
Yeah, you're not going to see a ton of velocity. That might be his high mark tonight at 92, but you saw the sinker there. He's going to throw the changeup off of it. He's got a curveball, a cutter. There's his curveball. I mean, he can really pitch. And I've often said that the most important hitter in this lineup is the guy in front of Aaron Judge. Even though he's struggling so far this year, he has a .368 on base percentage against left-handers. So he's getting on in front of Judge.
2-1. Suarez in his 9th big league season. He has 14 scoreless innings over the last 2 games. And he signed a 5-year, $130 million contract with the Red Sox in January. Boston pivoted after losing Alex Bregman for the Cubs. So they lost offense, and they said, let's get better pitching. And the count is now 2-2 with the foul ball.
I had Ranger in Philly, and Ranger was a starter. Then we made him a bullpen piece, a late inning guy. It turned out to be our closer. And then we put him back in the rotation, and we asked, you want to go back to being a starter? And he hesitated, and I was shocked, but he eventually went back, and he's been very successful.
He's also a very good fielder. He has 29 defensive run saves since 2019. That leads all major league pitchers, and Max Fried, Gold Glove winner, is second with 28. Out of the way.
And Michael, I don't want to take anything away from Max Fried, but obviously I know Ranger really well. He's a fantastic fielder, and there is no panic. He used to make me panic because he would take his time and he'd get the guy by a step. And I'm like, come on, Ranger, throw it, throw it.
Now, when he was announced here at a press conference, he did say his name is pronounced Ranger Suarez. He said, but please call me Ranger. So that's what we're going with. He said, you can call him Ranger. He's from Venezuela. And he deals late, and a foul ball.
Got a little extra on his fastball.
Yeah.
His average this year is 90.5, so it's not even 91, and we've seen a couple of 93s.
Well, this will be a 9-pitch at bat. As the 9th pitch coming up. And now it's going to be at least 10.
Yeah, this is a fantastic at bat. You see the different pitches. He's throwing him changeups, curveballs, cutters, four-seamers, sinkers. And if you're goalie, it's a really good at bat no matter what happens because of the amount of pitches. And you've really seen everything he's got.
Yep, Judge on deck, eyeballing every pitch. Squib the other way. Contreras fields. He'll take it himself. 1 away. Well, let's take a look at Suarez's arsenal on StatCast 3D by Google Cloud.
Well, as I said, he's got a number of pitches: a sinker, a changeup, a cutter, curveball, four-seamer. He'll even sweep some every once in a while. So you see the averages, not a whole lot, but he is very effective because of how he can tunnel.
So here's Judge. He reached 3 times yesterday in the Yankees 4-0 victory. Count 1-0. And a strike.
You know, as good as Ranger has been, I was looking at the Yankees numbers often. 27 for 90, which is really good. Hitting 300 as a team with an 804 OPS. And Ranger doesn't give up a lot of long balls. A lot of balls on the ground when it comes to Ranger.
Being very careful with Judge in the count 3-1.
You know, we were talking early in the year, he wasn't walking a lot. Since he started hitting the ball, the ballpark, there sure is a lot of walks now again. Just tells me he's seeing the ball really good.
And the count 3-2. A little below the knee. but no challenge from Judge.
You know, it's interesting, and what he's done is he's been throwing them sinkers that have that late drop to it, and he threw a four-seamer that didn't have the late drop, and he took it because he thought it was going to be a ball.
Foul down the right field line. There's ball 4, close. So Judge works a walk. Very careful pitching to Judge.
Can't really blame him, Michael. I think that's below the zone. It's a good no challenge. Sometimes catchers can get a little greedy and want to challenge that, but you can see the sinker. He'll try to front hip right-handed hitters too as well. Lefties, he'll throw the sinker into them, and the changeup, they look identical, and they're tough to decipher.
And a strike to Bellinger. Cody brings a 9-game hitting streak into this one. 12 for 34, hitting .353. Not really neutralized against lefties, so he's always in there. You see Grisham sitting, McMahon sitting, Rice just getting a day because they do play him against lefties. You have to play Goldschmidt sometime. Held up.
Michael, if we're wondering if it's cold out, Cody Bellinger's got the red nose already. It's only the first inning.
One, 2. 2-2. Hey, whatever happens this inning, they're making him throw pitches. He's at 21.
I could see him trying to throw the sinker out there that comes back. You know, as a hitter, you give up on it like you did on the four-seamer. It looks like it's going to be a ball.
And he gets him swinging on the fastball, 2 away.
Yeah, just a really good pitch. I mean, it's paint, and that's what he has to do because there's the lack of velocity compared to so many other starters. But he has the ability to do it. He's always had that ability.
Here's Stanton. 3 RBIs last night. There's a strike. Line down the left field line. It's a base hit. That's going to go to the wall. Judge hustling to third. The throw comes into third, not in time. Stanton goes to second. He's in there with a double. And Judge stays put at third base. So another hit for Stanton. The Yankees have runners on second and third with 2 outs.
Yeah, to me, that's a mistake by Jarren Duran going to third base. He probably should have went to second base and kept Stanton there at first base. But he goes for the lead runner. He attacks the lead runner. And he's a really good outfielder, plays it off the wall well. But you can see not a lot of arm strength there, and it allows Stanton to get to second. So now you have another runner in scoring position, and really a good read by Giancarlo to go to second base here. Really good. Watch the throw. It's over the cutoff man's head, and then all of a sudden you can take the extra base.
And a quick trip to the mound to settle down Suarez and also give him a little bit of a breather. 24 pitches into this game, and now a big at bat for Ahmed Rosario.
Mets had some success off of Ranger, 3 for 8. You think about the days in Washington always playing Phillies, you got to see a lot of it.
So he's actually hit righties better than lefties this year.
That's going to change too, Michael.
Change up, 0-1. Hit deep to left field. There it goes. See ya. Over the green monster onto Lansdowne Street. It's a 3-run home run, and the Yankees jump ahead. ahead 3-0.
Great at bats from so many hitters in the beginning of the lineup to put a lot of pitchers on Ranger, and he ends up hanging in this changeup after he threw a really good one to Rosario, and that is home run number 4, RBIs 10, 11, and 12, and has been extremely productive in the at-bats that he's had this year. And guess what, Michael? It's changing against lefties.
You called it. Here's Grichuk. Couldn't hold up on the curveball. 0-1.
Yeah, this looks like a ball, and he knows it. Ranger knows it. He left it middle in. Didn't have much downward movement.
Ground ball in the hole. Base hit for Grichuk. A rough inning continues for Suarez.
You know, he's really heated up too his last 10 or so at bats. I mean, he had struggled early, and you see the home run by Rosario. I mean, this gets out in a hurry. That one I could follow, Michael. It wasn't so high. And you see Aaron Boone, he loves it. Get a lead, let your ace go to work. Try to win the series tonight and get greedy tomorrow.
You mentioned Grichuk is hot. He's now 5 for his last 10. And that's after starting off 0 for 15.
And I think we have to remember that he didn't have a ton of at-bats in spring training just because he got there late.
Yep.
It'll take him some time.
Chisholm swings at the first pitch and lofts it to left field. Duran will put it away, and that'll do it. But the Yankees get 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. The big blow by Ahmed Rosario. Red Sox coming to bat. Must be nice for Max Fried to have a 3-0 lead before he even throws a pitch. Here's the Red Sox order that he's going to face. Rafaela in center field will lead off. Wilson Contreras at first base bats second. Wilyer Abreu in right field hits third, hitting .241 against lefty pitchers since last season. .681 OPS. Middle third, Story, Monasterio, and Duran. And then it's Caleb Durbin at third. Connor Wong will catch. And Isaiah Kanafalefa, second base, will bat ninth.
Max Fried, you see the numbers, his 6th start, the ERA under 3. He's been so consistent. But here's the scouting report on Max Fried tonight. His last start was a rarity. I mean, he went 5 1/3. He only gave up 3 hits, but 3 walks, which is unusual. A homer, the first homer of the year, 5 runs. On the interstate, hitters don't want to be on the interstate. If you're hitting 165, in a sense, you're on I-65. Well, hitters against Max Fried have been on the interstate this year, hitting 165, which is 6th in the MLB. And he enjoys the rivalry. Yeah, he had a couple starts when he was with Atlanta here, but 4 times he started last year, including the playoffs against the Red Sox. He had a 1.46 ERA.
So Rafaela will lead off. The Red Sox have gotten almost no production from the leadoff spot. They're 24th in batting average, 25th in OPS, and 25th in runs, 29th in ribbies. They have not had a home run from the leadoff spot either, so they're trying Rafaela.
You hear me knocking on wood there?
You knocking on wood.
But Rafaela has been good all year, Michael. I mean, you look at the last 18 games, he has an on-base over 400, hitting over 300. Maybe this is their guy.
1-2.
Roman Anthony has been the primary leadoff guy. And then, you know, before that, it was always Jarren Duran. But maybe this new disciplined Ceddanne Rafaela is going to be their leadoff guy.
Strike 3. He thought about challenging. He kind of touched the flap on his helmet, but he didn't touch the top of it.
Yeah, this is a good sinker. He was trying to go inside with it, but he left it, you know, down middle away, and he froze Rafaela. Just an outstanding pitch. It's probably a good thing he didn't check that, Michael.
Here's Contreras. You know, we mentioned the Red Sox have struggled offensively. They have 10 games this year out of their 23 where they're scoring 2 runs or fewer, and they're 1-9 in those games. Shows bunt, takes inside. 2-0 on Contreras. Now, I've been coming here, Joe, for 39 years. And I never remember the empty seats I'm seeing now. I don't know if it's a late arriving crowd. I don't know if it's the weather. I don't know if it's the poor play of the Red Sox, but there's a lot of empty seats at this ballpark.
Yeah, I noticed that in the 6th inning yesterday. I thought, well, did I just not notice there weren't people in those seats to begin with, or did they leave when they got behind 3-0 on the Stanton double, knowing this team is having a hard time scoring runs?
3-1, and there's a walk. They did leave yesterday. Let's take a look at the Yankee defense tonight. You've got Grichuk in left, Bellinger in center, and Judge over and right. In the infield, it's Rosario, Caballero, Chisholm, and Goldschmidt. That's third to first. Walls behind the plate, Stanton the DH. Here's Wilyer Abreu. Contreras held at first by Goldschmidt. Good move by Fried. And the umpires in the crowd call balk. Abreu 4 for his last 34. He started off great, hitting .392. That's why his average is respectable, but he's really struggled of late.
Yeah, and there's been no extra base hits since he's been struggling, and he's expected to be a big part of this lineup. There's obviously a number of guys that have struggled on this team, and he's been struggling lately a lot.
Foul back. A real long set by Fried. And he used the clock to his advantage there. He did not deliver till 1 second was left on the clock.
Well, I talked about that. That's why I like what Caballero does. He controls and dictates the timing because he doesn't look up till 8 seconds when he has to make eye contact with the pitcher. So you don't have to stand there so long looking out at the pitcher. But he got caught yesterday. He took too long.
Chop toward first. Goldschmidt field, steps on the bag, moving to second is Contreras, 2 away.
It's been a struggle for Trevor Story this year. However, runners in scoring position, he's been really, really good. He's got 18 hits, 17 RBIs, and hitting .296 with runners in scoring position. So he knows how to produce in these situations.
Well, he's struggling overall offensively and also having a tough time of it in the field. 33 years old. Since last season, -10 outs above average. 4th worst among shortstops. Popped up. A long run for Goldschmidt. He can't get there, but it's a foul ball.
A really good hustle by Goldschmidt there, and I was worried that it was going to be fair when he hit it. It's fair. It's probably a double. And obviously, Story's thinking that it might be fair, and he's running hard. So, very good effort. Just didn't hit it high enough.
Run at second, 2 outs. Yankees lead 3-0 on the Rosario 3-run home run. Red Sox beat the Yankees 9-4 last year in their head-to-head during the regular season, but the Yankees beat them in the wild card round 2-1. With tomorrow's starter Cam Schlittler going 8 innings of shutout ball, 12 strikeouts. Swing and a miss, got him. Story down on strikes. Red Sox strand 1. We go to the second, 3-0 Yanks. This is new for 2026. Stream MLB Network 24/7 and select out-of-market games every week. Plus live radio broadcast of every game. Game Day 3D, big inning, and minor league action. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today. We go to the second inning. Jose Caballero will lead it off.
29 pitches for Suarez in the first. If you could put another long inning on him, well, that would be tough on their bullpen.
I'll tell you what, Joe, I'm watching Caballero closely because of yesterday. And he must have an internal clock that's amazing. He does not look up at the clock. He knows to look up at 8 seconds. Look, he's looking down. And he will not look up until it gets to, now it's 8, and he looked up.
He has to count in his head.
Has to, right?
Yeah, I would think. And he's done it so much now, you know, that he's gotten kind of used to it. Look, he's in the box first. That's unusual, looking at the pitcher.
Home plate umpire is the first base umpire from yesterday who called him out on a called third strike because he wasn't in there in time. Pitch clock violation. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Good change. One away.
Yeah, that's the change that he wants to throw. The one that has the bottom fall out of it. You see the drop on it. It actually bounces. But he's got such great arm speed, and he takes 10 or 11 miles off that pitch. It's just outstanding.
There's Austin Wells. 0-1.
I think that foul tip just got Connor Wong's thumb. You know, when it foul tips, it doesn't go where you anticipate it's going to go. And it sometimes veers off a little bit. Sometimes it will hit your thumb, and you can see him kind of, it looks like it actually hit the top of his fingers. That hurts too.
Popped up. Wong tosses away the mask and makes the play. Out number 2.
I always felt that that was one of the worst outs. There were 2. That one and the one you hit like right in front of home plate and it sticks. It doesn't roll, you know, and you're like, really, I just hit a ball 2 feet. I got no, you know, if it rolls a little bit, I might beat it out.
Goldschmidt takes a strike. He had a long at bat to lead off the game and ended up grounding out to first. But then Judge walked to strike out of Bellinger 2 away. But Stanton doubled and Rosario a home run over the Green Monster, over the monster seats. 0-2. And bounced up there.
It's a textbook block, Michael. We used to play this game in spring training. We draw a circle around home plate that was kind of wide. You got it within that, it was 1. And then you made a circle that was smaller around home plate. You got it within that little circle, it was 3. And if you stuck it on home plate, it was 5.
Ground ball, second base. And the Yankees go down in order 1, 2, 3, and we'll go to the bottom of the second.
strikeouts for Max Fried in the first inning. He also walked a batter. Joe, you spoke about the walks his last outing against the Angels. He issued 3 in that one, and it was something that clearly frustrated him when I talked to him after the game, simply saying multiple times, I cannot issue free passes like that. More than that, he felt like his command was in and out throughout the course of that game. He did not have his sweeper, and he wasn't quite sure if it was mechanical or just a rhythm thing for him out there. When I spoke to Matt Blake today about Fried, he said they went back and watched the video. They felt like his delivery was just a little bit off. His shoulders were turning a little bit. He was going more east to west. They worked on making sure it was north to south, a clear line to the plate. He made the adjustment relatively quickly, and they expect him to be a bit sharper, the Max Fried that we know tonight here in Boston.
Well, that north to south that they're talking about, it's where he's going right towards home plate. That's what makes him such a great fielder. He doesn't fall off, and he's in a good position to field his position.
It never ceases to amaze me. I mean, Max Fried's been around a long time.
Yes.
And it's such a delicate balance between being on and just being off. And the best, they fall out of it.
They can lose their mechanics. I was thinking the same thing, Michael. And I remember John Smoltz told me, he says, 30 starts, 10 you're going to have great stuff. You're going to see him the direction right to home plate where he wants to go. He doesn't want to turn his shoulders too much. Keep that shoulder pointed towards home plate. 10 other starts you're going to have good stuff. 10 starts you're not going to have it. It's what you do those 10 starts when you don't have it that makes or breaks your season.
So if you get hammered in those 10 starts, it's not going to be a great season.
No, but if you can find a way to fight through it, you're going to have a really good season.
And Fried with his second walk, which is not what he wants, as Monasterio starts off.
Yeah, and it's been with his fastball and cutter that he's lacked the command. And he's being aggressive, and you can't say anything about he's not being aggressive. He's just not finding the zone where he wants.
Here's Jared Duran. Jared Duran, who was struggled this year, 1 for his last 17. That one missed.
And you have a hitter's umpire tonight, too, so you're not going to get the borderline pitches. You see the numbers off of Max Fried, 0 for 13 with 6 strikeouts. That's not the guy you want to get back in the lineup against.
He's always had trouble against left-handed pitching, .230 batting average in his career. But that one he drills to left field toward the monster, and that ball's going to be off the wall. Played out there by Gritchett, and it's going to be a double for Duran, and Monasterio will stop at third.
Michael, if you're the Boston Red Sox, you have to love that, because when he's going well, he's shooting the ball the opposite way. In 24, which is really rare, he had a higher slug going to the opposite field than he did to the pull side. And this is a fastball that's just up in the zone, and it's not where Max wants it, and he doubles off the wall. He led the league in doubles that year. He led the league in triples, and it's when he's going the other way he's most dangerous.
Here's Caleb Durbin, second and third, now nobody out. Yankees play the infield back. And Fried misses outside, 1-0. Durbin had a good year for the Milwaukee Brewers last year, but gotten off to a slow start with the Red Sox. And a strike.
Had a catching coach and manager, Jim Essien, longtime catcher in the big leagues. So you start a guy off with a breaking ball, you miss, you come right back to it. So you get the feel for it, and you can start throwing it for strikes, and that's what Max and Wells did there.
And a changeup, 1-2. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Fried to get Durbin for the first out.
2 outstanding changeups to get Durbin to swing through, and here's the one with 2 strikes. You see the little run at the end and the little dip, and he swings over the top of it. If you're facing Max Fried, you're just trying to at least get one run in here. Think the other way. Connor Wong is very willing to go the other way and has been swinging the bat really well this year.
Yeah, 8 for 24 to start the season, taking a lot of time away from last year's regular catcher. And Narvaez, the right-handed hitter, is on the bench against the lefty Fried.
It's the opposite of last year. Wong had a really good 24, struggled in 25 for a couple of reasons we'll get into later. And now he's off to a good start in 26.
He's one of the players, Joe, that lost some height. Being measured for the ABS strike zone system, he had always been listed at 6'1", but he's dropped to 5'10".
He lost 3 inches?
3 inches, yeah. Infield still back for the Yanks. And strike. 1-2.
You know, they've kind of made a reversal here. He's been having trouble throwing his hard stuff. Walk, double. He's went to soft stuff, his curveball and his changeup, and it's been really effective.
Wong is the only thing left from the Red Sox trade of Mookie Betts to the Dodgers. They got Alex Verdugo, Jeter Downs, both long gone here, and Connor Wong, trading Mookie Betts and David Price. 1-2, swing and a miss. Got him on a change. Another big strikeout, 4th strikeout for Fried.
Yeah, his changeup's been great this inning. Fastball, not so much, but that pitch has been really effective. You watch it, strike, strike, strike ball, and it disappears. It's got good velocity on it, so you think it's a fastball, and that late dip gets you to swing over the top.
Here's IKF. Kind of left it takes low. 5 for 25 this year with no extra base hits in 11 games. Signed a 1-year, $6 million deal with the Red Sox in February.
Michael, to think that he started off his career as a catcher. Now he plays all over the diamond. Really, really interesting to me.
And plays well.
Yes, he does.
Grounded foul.
Aren't many catchers going to shortstop. Craig Biggio went to second. It was really effective doing it. Russell Martin was a guy that I thought you could have moved to third or second in the infield.
You ever play any other position?
No, and I didn't want to.
Really?
No. You know, I thought, you know, I had a mask on, chest protector, and shin guards. I couldn't get hurt, really, for the most part.
1-2. Oh, what a performance by Fried. And what a letdown for the Red Sox. Second and third, nobody out. Fried strikes out the next 3 batters. Time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. And tonight's picture is of Ryan and Emma, who are at the stadium last homestand. Hey guys, use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride. Post your picture to social media to reflect your love for the Yankees, and we might spotlight you in a future game. We might.
You know, Michael, I met a couple today in the weight room today, and they came up to me and wanted to take a picture. They were probably in their early 30s. Came from Utah. It was the husband's bucket list to come watch the Yankees at Fenway Park. Big Yankees fan. I thought, man, that's a long way in some cold weather to come watch a game.
There's some things that concern me about that story. Isn't it dangerous to fulfill your bucket list at 30?
Well, I believe so. Like, I'm worried about that because I had one thing on my bucket list.
And what was that?
See the Rolling Stones. And I saw them like 4 years ago.
Right.
I'm a little worried.
Get another bucket.
Yeah.
Line drive, it's a base hit for Judge. Starts off the 3rd inning with a single. Also, I love a couple though that's, you know, throwing up iron together. That's nice.
Yeah, it was really good. How about pulling your hands in a little bit there, Michael, and rifling it through the shortstop third base hole? Just pull them in, Aaron. You're probably lucky you didn't get it airborne.
Here's Bellinger. He struck out in the first inning. And lined and caught by IKF. Judge gets back. Hit it sharply, but Kiner-Falefa was there.
You know what we used to call that?
What's that?
Dumb hitting. The guy's been standing there for over 100 years.
Here's Giancarlo Stanton. Double the left in the first inning. One and 0.
You see his four-seamer's already down to 90. It started off at 93, 94, and he's already lost some velocity. He had to work really hard in that first inning.
Driven to left field. Again off the monster. Off the top of the scoreboard. Duran bobbles. Judge will stop at third. Stan has himself another double. Can you imagine if he played 162 games for the Red Sox, 81 here?
I don't know if he hits the ball high enough sometimes to get out, though. It might hurt his home run total, because this is a home run probably in a lot of ballparks. I mean, you look at this line drive, kind of checks up, and then he fumbles it, and that allows Stanton to get to second. Now the infield's in, so if you're Rosario, use the middle of the field or go over the wall like you've done in the past.
Infield in for Rosario, and he swings through the first offering, a cutter. 0-1. Left field, Duran will make the play. Tagging is Judge. He'll score. And the Yankees lead 4-0. And all 4 RBIs belong to Ahmed Rosario.
Yeah, another good at bat. Fastball that's in. He's able to get it airborne, which is not always so easy to do. It's usually easier to get the ball airborne to center and right, but he does a really, really good job.
There's Randall Grichuk. He singled in the first. 1-0. Fly ball right field. The Abreu bat will make the catch. And that will do it. But the Yankees get a run on 2 hits. 1 man left. 4-0 Yanks. Second inning, second and third, nobody out. How did Fried get out of it?
Well, he went away from his fastball and his cutter and started using his changeup and his curveballs. He gets Durbin on this change, Connor Wong on this change, and then IKF on this curveball. The most important pitches you'll make usually during the course of a game is in the stretch, and Max Fried just put on a clinic.
Great numbers against the Red Sox, 1.96. That's 6 starts, including the postseason. Back to the top of the order, he has 5 strikeouts in 2 innings. And he gets the fastball by Rafaela. Fly ball, right field. Judge drifts back. A lot of room out there, and he makes the play. You have to really hit the ball to get it out right.
Yeah, and Rafaela's got a lot of power to dead center and to the other way. I mean, he's a strong young man. He hit that ball a long ways on Max Fried, but it plays big that way, and you want to stay out of the air usually in right center unless you're a guy like Aaron Judge or you're a left-handed pull hitter.
Can you imagine how many home runs that ate up for Ted Williams?
Ooh, probably a lot. But he probably got some to left field.
He didn't. He never hit to left.
Yeah, I'm sure he hit one, Michael. Michael, I have a theory.
Okay.
When a team should score a run and they don't, like the Red Sox last inning, it's a lift for the other club, and it seems like they always score that next half inning, which the Yankees did.
And it's probably also a downer for the club that doesn't score.
To think that you're getting into it, the game maybe, and possibly, and all of a sudden you get nothing. I mean, you think about in that inning, second and third, nobody out. If you hit a ground ball, 2 ground balls to short of the second base, you got 2 runs.
Yep.
They weren't able to make contact.
I think that's the one thing that's changed the most in the game. There's just not situational hitting anymore, where you give yourself up and hit the ground ball. They get a ground ball there. Caballero will get Contreras.
Well, I think because the game has went to get your A swing off all the time.
Yep.
Right? And drive the baseball. You know, do damage. And a lot of times you'll lead to swing and miss on those type of swings, opposed to, you know, just trying to play pepper in a sense, or hit a ground ball to second base to get the run. Miguel Cabrera was as good as anyone I ever saw. He said, "You can play the infield back. I'm just going to hit a ground ball to second, get the run. I'm going to take the RBI."
Low to Abreu. Line and a base hit to left field. Grichuk will get it in. And Abreu with a 2-out single.
Yeah, again, he has not located that cutter very well, and you see this just too much of the plate and too high. Like the last place you want to be is between the thigh and the belt, and he knows it. He's just trying to work it and find it, so he has all of his pitches. 2 outs, you know, nobody on. You take a chance and see if you can get it going.
At what point do you say to yourself, I don't have it today?
Never.
You never, just keep trying.
You keep trying, because it's an important pitch for him.
Story grounds it foul.
Trevor Story is what you call a really good bad ball breaking ball hitter. If you hang it, he does damage as good as anyone in the game.
Ground ball, backhanded by Caballero, goes across the diamond, gets Story, and that'll do it. Red Sox strand another as we go to the 4th. I'm All-Star, Olympic gold medalist, NBA champion, and architect of championship dynasties. This documentary becomes both eulogy and reckoning, an examination of the man behind the logo. Jerry West, The Logo, streaming now only on Prime. I'll be watching that on the trip to Houston tomorrow. I've got it downloaded.
You already got it downloaded.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. Jazz Chisholm will lead off the 4th inning. And he scoops one to left field. Duran is there. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Remember I told you I thought that Jazz, like, I wasn't so worried about his swing, I'm worried about his timing.
Yep.
He's late. And when he's late, you either hit top ground balls or you hit flares to the opposite field. And I just think that he's so close. It's a smidgen late.
You know, it's interesting because coming into this game, he was hitting 182. And last year he ended up a 30-30 player and really about a month and a half out because of injury. Do you know that in April, the end of April, he was hitting 181?
Yeah, I was shocked to see that.
But
today.
he did have 7 home runs.
Correct. He could hit 7 in the next week.
Really?
Why not?
Fouled away.
Little Bobby Bonilla hit yourself in the helmet with the bat. You know, when you look at Rangers' repertoire, it's very similar to Fried's. Change up, curveball, cutter, sinker, four-seamer.
Just doesn't throw as hard.
Just doesn't throw as hard. No.
Now, in knowing you as long as I have since '96, when you talk about him, I get the sense that you like him.
Yeah, he was very easy to manage. He was very talented. And I said something to you when you were earlier in the day, and you were like, really? And I said, he's got the heartbeat of Mariano Rivera out there. And that's why I loved him so much, because nothing frazzled him. I mean, you look up, and he had 29 pitches in the first inning. He was at 50 going into this inning. He found it.
Right.
And he started to settle down, and there's a good chance he'll end up giving him, 6 innings tonight.
Right back to Suarez.
See how nonchalant he is? Boy, Michael, that made me nervous.
What, that he took time to throw to first?
Yeah, and it's just kind of, okay, here it is, right? And it's just, a lot of guys will kind of run it over there and flip it over there because they're not comfortable. But look how relaxed. It's like he knows the speed of the runner. It's like he's a regular infielder. He knows how much time he's got.
Here's Austin Wells, fouled out to the catcher in the second.
The other thing that you can see on Ranger is he's got some of that hot stuff on his arm, because you see it going through his jersey, the little bit of orange. That's hot stuff. You see it on the end of his sleeve, on the shoulder.
I'm always amazed at the stories that before Clemens started, he put it all over his body.
Yes.
And I mean, all over his body.
And Michael, some of it is so hot.
Right.
It is. I remember I had a little knee issue, and I put it on my knee just a little bit, and then put a sleeve over it. I had to go wash my leg. It was so hot.
Well, Wells strikes out looking. 1-2-3 inning for Suarez. He's getting hot.
Ryan Weathers is not here in Boston. He was here yesterday, but Michael, it's for good reason. He and his wife Thayer welcomed their first child to the world. Meet Paul David Weathers. Nice picture of the family of 3. How cool is that? The little footprint on the baseball. Now, he was not supposed to pitch this series. Aaron Boone said that he does believe he is going to make his next start, and Weathers pitched incredibly well last time out. He threw Sunday against the Royals. The Yankees won that one 7-0. He pitched 7 1/3 scoreless. So a lot of happy moments for the Weathers family right now. Welcome to the world, Paul David Weathers. And one guy was called up, Jake Bird, to take his spot on the roster as he was placed on the paternity list. Michael and Joe.
And a nice story, so congratulations to the Weathers family. Here's Monasterio to lead off the bottom of the 4th.
Think he's a righty or a lefty, Michael?
I think they'll try to make him a lefty.
Yeah.
But he is what he is.
That's true.
Well, David was righty, and Ryan turned out lefty.
But it was Paul David, not David Paul. So
yeah.
I think he's going to be a lefty.
Okay.
Because David's second.
Fly ball left field. Grichuk retires Monasterio. 1 down.
His curveball has been excellent tonight. There was some time during the course of this year I thought it didn't have the downward movement. Tonight it's been really good, and that downward movement got Monasterio to hit it off the end for a flyout.
Duran takes a strike. He doubled in the second. That put runners on second and third, nobody out. But as we told you, Fried struck out the next 3 batters, and the Red Sox remain scoreless. Yankees are up 4-0. Red Sox have 2 hits, the Yankees 5.
Interesting how he's used a sinker against him this time. He used the four-seamer before, and it ended up off the wall, up in the zone, but he's using the sinker down. Guess what's getting better? That's a slider, but very similar to his cutter. He got Story on a cutter in, and that's a really good slider, which he doesn't throw very often, about 1% of the time.
Two and two. Into left center field, deep to the monster, and off the monster. Played out there by Bellinger, and Duran picks up his second double.
Again, a ball up in the zone that he hits off that wall, and for Max, he's had success with the ball down to him, but not so far up. This one's not as high as the last one he hit. 2 doubles for Jarren Duran. It makes sense of it. He was 0 for 13 with 6 strikeouts coming to the game off of Max Fried. See the frustration by Max. That's not where I wanted to throw it.
Here's Caleb Durbin. You know, Durbin has felt the wrath of Red Sox fans. He's getting booed a lot. And he said, that's Boston, right? You want fans that are poured into it.
And the interesting thing is he's hit better at home. It's the road where he's hitting under 100 on the road, where his average would be okay had he just played here.
You know, before the Yankees made the trade that included Durbin along with Nestor Cortez to get Devin Williams, he was projected to be their starting second baseman. They loved him in the Yankee system, but you had to give up something to get a top flight reliever, and they did. And now here's Durbin for the Red Sox. Soft ground ball. Caballero gets Durbin.
Yeah, he ended up playing third at Milwaukee because they have Terang at second, who's a Gold Glove infielder, so there wasn't room for him there.
So here's Connor Wong, 29 years old, 6 big league season. He struck out in the second. Fly ball right field. Judge puts it away, and he pitches around the double. Does Fried, and we'll go to the 5th. Let's take a trip around the majors. The Mets are struggling. They've lost 12 straight. No team that lost 12 straight games has ever made the postseason all time. Yordan Alvarez, 11 home runs this season. He leads the majors. When he's healthy, he's something else. And Cal Raleigh started off slowly, starting to pick up with the home runs, hitting 198, 5 homers, but he struck out 33 times. He was the runner-up for MVP behind Judge. Here's Goldschmidt. He's 0 for 2. Now, Goldschmidt had a 10-pitch at bat to begin the game, and that's the longest by a Yankee to start a game since the final game of the 2023 season, when DJ LeMahieu had a 10-pitch single on October 1st, 2023.
To start a game.
To start a game. It definitely puts the pitcher immediately behind the 8 ball. And down goes Goldschmidt. 1 down. You know, Goldschmidt's doing something different this year. He's been a regular, he's been a star, he's been an MVP. Now he's got truncated playing time. I wonder, is it tough for him to keep his swing and his time?
Yeah, well, I think it's hard. The other thing is he went to the WBC and didn't get a lot of at-bats there as well. And it's a guy that's used to playing every day. And at the beginning of the year, he played every day last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he had 400 plus at bats, and this year that's not going to happen. It's, you know, he'll figure it out. He's smart.
And guys, I spoke to Aaron Boone about that earlier today, and he admitted that it's been hard to find opportunity for Paul Goldschmidt with the way Ben Rice has been swinging the bat. When Goldschmidt signed here this year with the Yankees, he knew that Rice was going to get the majority of the reps, but he did still think that he was going to get fairly consistent at bats, and that just has not been possible. But Aaron Boone did say he's as good as it gets. Not only is he a Hall of Fame player, he's a good person, a good leader in that clubhouse. He still has a meaningful role for this team, and he is going to play a role on the field as well.
The 2-1.
Michael, there are those players that you never hear a bad word about from anybody, and that's Paul Goldschmidt. So respected, has always played the game the right way, has played hard, does his job, is always prepared, willing to help young players.
And Judge on for the third time. He walks for the second time. So a couple of walks sandwiching a single. And he scored twice already, and it's just the fifth inning.
Stanton's got him running the bases hard. Doubles off the wall, knocking over the wall.
And a quick trip to the mound.
Well, the last time he did this, the guy hit a home run.
Yeah. So Zach Kelly warming. When a team is struggling like the Red Sox are, is there any magic formula for a manager, or do you have to just stay calm and not even try to motivate them to change?
You have to ride it out as long as they're preparing the right way, and I'm sure Alex Cora's team is preparing the right way. You believe that it's going to change, and getting mad or showing emotion is not necessarily going to help, because the players already feel bad enough they're not performing. You just got to stay the same and stay the course, and you can try to shuffle the lineup, but inevitably when you shuffle the lineup, the guy that's struggling comes up with the bases loaded no matter where you put him. It's just all teams go through it, and you got to find a way to get out of it.
Runner goes. The throw to second. Pop-up slide, and Judge is safe. That's his fifth stolen base of the year.
And the first one against Ranger Suarez is not something that he gives up a lot of. I mean, he's really good at holding runners. He'll hold. Aaron Judge gets a really good jump. Not a great throw by Connor Wong. He bounces it. You get a big jump. Catcher sometimes rushes. He gets too much on top of it, stands up a little too much, which makes the ball go down, and Aaron Judge beats it.
And Bellinger grounds one to Kiner-Falefa, and Judge will move the third with 2 outs. So the only time a manager gets upset or might yell at a team is if he feels they're just not trying. They're not putting effort in.
They're not putting effort, and they're feeling sorry for themselves. And this is a quick change. Looks like that's it for Ranger.
I think Ranger's a little bit stunned. Got Stanton coming up. He's hit 2 doubles. So Cora wants to go to the right-hander with Judge at third. To name that Yankee. 264, 667 hits, 90 home runs. So Joe, you played with him in '96 with the Yanks. Then he came back in '99 and 2000. A lot of stops there. I think I know.
Yes.
So Zach Kelly comes on. You see his numbers. And he'll face Stanton. Stanton had 2 hits yesterday and should have had 3, but one of the best plays you'll see by center fielder Rafaela made up against the wall in center field. Just amazing. Didn't have much space and somehow hauled in his screaming line drive.
Yeah, Zach Kelly has been really tough on right-handed hitters this year when you look at his splits, and I know it's a small sample size. Righties are hitting 200 with a 417 OPS. Lefties 250 with 1,000. Really good sweeper, a really good cutter.
Unusual note on Zach Kelly. This is his 5th big league season. He's never had a Topps baseball card. But he gets Stanton, so maybe that'll get him a card. As Durbin makes the play. Yankees strand Judge at third. We're halfway through. Yankees up by 4. The NBA playoffs continue tomorrow on Prime as Jalen Brunson and the Knicks continue their series against the Hawks. It's tied at a game apiece. Then later, the Cavs face the Raptors and the Nuggets take on the Wolves. The NBA playoffs on Prime tomorrow starting at 6:30. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Yankees lead 4-0. All the runs driven in by Ahmed Rosario. IKF hits one into right center. On the run is Judge. He makes the play. 1 pitch, 1 out.
A really good jump by Aaron Judge on the ball. Just watching the field, and you could see him move right away. Actually makes this catch really easily. He's gone. He's going to get it. You don't want that ball to get in the gap because that's a for sure double, maybe a triple. Cuts it off. Great route. Very efficient.
There's Rafaela. And there's a strike.
I look at the Red Sox. They were 7th in OPS versus lefties last year. They're 23rd. But you think about the guys that aren't in the lineup that were in it last year. Romy Gonzalez, a 978 OPS. Rob Refsnyder, 959. Alex Bregman, 855. And Rafael Devers, for the first 4 months or 3 months or so, hit a 901. That's a lot of thunder to be taken out of a lineup against lefties.
I was really surprised that they let Refsnyder get away.
Yeah, I mean, he was a leader on this team. And with all these young kids, and Michael, his cutter's coming. See that? There's another good one that he threw. Like, you need that leadership when there's so many young players, because young players start to doubt. You want to make sure that you see the swing and miss. You want to make sure that they're doing everything the right way, and they understand, yes, we've all struggled. We've been through it. How do you get out of it? You get out of it by preparing and continue to work. You need veterans to help young players do that, and I think he was really good at it.
And they signed IKF for $6 million, and that's what Refsnyder got from Seattle.
Yes, and a much more potent bat. I know they're focusing on defense and pitching, but you think about all the great teams they've had. They were offensive teams with good starting pitching is what they were.
Two and 2 on Rafaela, who's 0 for 2 against Fried. Fried 64 pitches. We're in the bottom of the 5th. 1 man out. Swing and a miss on the curve. 2 away.
I believe it's the best curveball he's had all year long, and he's thrown a lot of them. And I think it's because of the troubles with his 4-seamer and his cutter has led to the curveball being used, and you see the depth. Starts at the top of the zone and ends up at the bottom of the zone. A lot for a hitter to track.
Pretty efficient innings for Fried. He threw 20 when he had runners on second and third, nobody out in the second. Got away with it. And that one's popped to Chisholm. Nice easy inning. As Contreras is retired, we played 5, 4-0 Yanks. Yankees lead 4-0. They shut out the Red Sox yesterday, and it was their 5th shutout of the season. It looks like the Yankees are going to the bench against the right-hander. So who's going to come up first? It's going to be Ben Rice pinch hitting for Ahmed Rosario. And waiting on deck to pinch hit for Grichuk is Grisham. Strike from Zach Kelly. 5 lefties in the bullpen for the Red Sox. He's heating up in a hurry. And that's the danger of Boone going to the left-handers now. The Red Sox have 5 lefties in the bullpen. So once you commit to the lefties, there are no righties to pinch hit for them. So you're gonna have the Red Sox are gonna have the mismatch.
Yeah, but I think he's trying to put this game away right away. And obviously they just got the left-hander up.
So Rice hit for Rosario. Rosario hit for himself with a big 3-run home run in the first inning. Let's take a look at the Spectrum exit velocity on the home run, 108.4, and it traveled 416 feet. So home run anywhere.
And obviously McMahon's going to have to come in and play defense, and they're only going to have one person left on the bench.
Yep.
But I think what we've seen from Aaron too is that he's trying to maximize the matchup, and he's knowing that they're going to get a right-hander for sure. He's also trying to probably become a little bit more defense in the 6th inning. And he doesn't want guys sitting too much. He wants to make sure they get continued at bats and they don't sit a long time, so when they are in there they feel like their timing's good. And Trent had a great week last week. I hope he didn't hurt himself here, Michael. Another good day for Grichuk. He's starting to stack them on top of each other, which is a good thing as a platoon player.
Strike 3. So the 2 pinch hitters strike out looking against Kelly. And now they'll bring in the left-hander with Chisholm due up. So Cora will make the change. Kelly did a good job retiring all 3 men he faced. Yankees still lead this one 4-0. These two teams have played each other an awful lot. Red Sox against the Yankees. Matt Fried dealing, getting big strikeouts, getting out of big moments. Speaking of big moments, how about Ahmed Rosario hitting one on the Lansdowne Street with 1 swing? The Yankees had a 3-0 lead. He has been on fire. And the Yankees are leading 4-0 with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. And Eduardo Rivera, making his major league debut, is on the mound. That's what he did in Double-A, and he'll face Jazz Chisholm. And he says he can't hear.
Michael, they got him topping out at 98 miles an hour, 93 to 98. He's got a cutter, a slider. Everybody has a cutter, thanks to Mariano Rivera. Changeup and a curveball.
And Jazz goes, I need to see this guy now.
I have no idea what he's got.
Right, I don't know how
it plays. Well, you could greet him unkindly.
Yep, he can do that. Saying this is big leagues. This stuff should work. And the first pitch of his big league career is a ball, and they throw it out, so he has it. They threw it to the Red Sox dugout. One and one.
Michael, this is their 5th reliever this year that's made the major league debut. That's a lot.
And it's April 23rd.
And you're telling me, you know, you're not getting a lot of distance out of your starters, so they're having to rotate people in the bullpen.
April 22nd. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
You said the 23rd?
Yeah.
It will be.
Yes. So 1-2 on Jazz. And Rivera deals. Check swing, fouled away.
So they're going to have to make a move to put the starter on tomorrow, Tolley. So if Rivera was to give you a few innings here, it would probably be him.
Swing and a tip into the glove of Wong. A welcome to the big league moment. Yankees strike out 3 in a row. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Red Sox play the series finale here at Fenway Park. Extended coverage starts at 4 with 2 full hours of pregame leading up to first pitch. Different time, 6:10 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. We go to the bottom of the 6th. You see the defensive changes. And Wilyer Abreu again freed. 1-0. Joe, you said it. That curveball's his weapon tonight.
Yeah. And that's the thing about Max Fried is he has so many different ways to get you out, but he also has so many different weapons that he can go to if he doesn't have some of the other ones that play well against left-handers and right-handers. So what's he do? He throws your back-to-back curveballs that have the depth, and then he throws the sweeper that has the side-to-side and the depth.
Bottom of the 6th, Yankees up 4-0. Line drive, and it's caught by McMahon.
Pretty good placement right there. See, and I always wonder when you keep it score there. Do you put L5 or L6?
5 made the catch.
At the 6 hole. You know, I saw longtime Yankee scout Matt Hyde here tonight in the lunchroom with his son, so it was good to see him. Works
He's
in
had a
northeast
nice
corner.
run.
Yes, he has.
He's scattered Rice, scattered Schlittler. Not too bad.
Nope.
Story has been injured a lot, and last year he had a really good year, and he could have opted out of his contract, and he did the smart thing and didn't. I don't know if he would have gotten the same money. He's in the 5th season of a 6-year $140 million deal, and he finally got over the injuries, played in most of the games last year and did a good job. Played 157 games, had 96 RBIs, 31 stolen bases.
They led their team in hits, home runs, RBIs, stolen bases.
But now struggling, not with runners in scoring position, although he did make an out earlier in that situation. And he goes down swinging. 7th strikeout for Fried.
Think about the last 3 lefties that the Boston Red Sox have faced. This is just another good breaking ball below the zone. That's where he chases, is below the zone. If you hang it, he'll hit it. But they've had to face Tarek Scuba, Framber Valdez, and now Max Fried. It's not good for the batting average.
Well, no respite tomorrow with Schlittler.
No. But I'm just talking about the lefties.
Yeah.
If you're a platoon guy like Monastoria.
Good pitch count, 75 pitches for Fried. In the Yankee 4-game winning streak, the starters are pitching to a 0.68 ERA.
That'll get it done.
Right?
Yeah.
So at this point, a nice bounce back from Fried against the Angels on April 16th. 5 1/3, 3 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts.
That's a check. Yeah.
And that's going to be a challenge. I think it was from Fried.
Catcher is challenging.
No, they say it was from Wells. And they were right. Both actually did it.
Strike. New York has 2 remaining.
So it goes from 3-0 to 2-1. You'll see both actually challenge this. Yep. The 2-1. Now 2-2. Take a look at that.
The pitchers have actually been more successful so far this year than the hitters, which a lot of people question. Now they don't challenge nearly as much, but they've been pretty successful. That's the one I'm talking about. You beat it stays fair, and you're like, really? Grown man hit that ball 5 feet.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th. Ground ball and backhanded by McMahon. The throw across the diamond. And they get Monasterio. A nice play by Ryan McMahon. As the Red Sox go down in order. Backhand toward the line. And in one throw, he gets him. Well, this copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. 4-0 Yankees have 5 hits. Red Sox 3 hits, no runs. Caballero will lead off against Eduardo Rivera. Rivera's 22 years old, 6'7" lefty. On Sunday, he found out he was going to be promoted from AA Portland to AAA Worcester, and then he got even better news yesterday. So he's in the big leagues without ever having pitched at AAA.
So did he go to Worcester?
I guess he did. And then the Red Sox called him out when Gray went on the IL. He's from Puerto Rico. He was a starter with Portland. He went 10 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 16 strikeouts.
Yeah, there's good velocity, and obviously he's got a number of breaking pitches. And so I'm struck out the first hitter he ever faced, Jazz Chisholm.
Also pitched for Puerto Rico in the WBC.
I gotta believe that helped him with this moment.
Just the bigness of it.
Yes.
New York has 2 remaining.
Well, Caballero challenged the strike call, and by 1/10 of an inch, he got it right.
But I was saying it helped him with this moment because of the pressure of those games and pitching for your country. Same kind of pressure here.
3-1. And Caballero was taking off his shin guard, but he did not challenge. Now he's got to put it back on.
You got to make sure he calls timeout here. I'd like to see him challenge that one too, Michael.
He was challenged 9 pitches, 5 have been overturned this year, and that's the most challenges of anybody on the team. Smothered there by Story, fires to first, but the throw pulls Contreras off the bag. It'll be a base hit for Caballero.
Yeah, he actually looked like he kind of extended too far and he got trapped underneath him and behind him. God, he makes a really quick recovery and throw. It's a really good play. He overdove, it hit the heel of his glove, stayed right next to him, ends up throwing from the seat of his pants and makes a pretty good throw. But I think we're going to see how good Rivera is at holding runners on in this situation.
And Wells takes a strike. Seventh inning, Yankees up 4-0. Ground ball, fair ball. Contreras steps on the bag. Now they have Caballero on a rundown. And he's making it interesting. And finally gets tagged out.
Michael, that's going to be scored a 3U3 and a bunch of other numbers right after it, and I don't think I have them all.
Well, let's get him.
There's 3U, so 3. Geez, he fell down. 6, 4, 5. It's a lot of numbers.
Goldschmidt takes a strike.
I was kind of wondering why Contreras looked back to first base, maybe to see if he called him out. Wasn't sure that he called him out at first base. Because why would you look at first base when you're running to second in the rundown?
Maybe to see if he had stepped on the back that it wasn't a force and then he could get in a rundown.
Or was it a fair ball?
Right.
Really good changeup by Rivera there. Kind of the pitch of the night.
Goldschmidt's 0 for 3 tonight. Two and 2.
Little challenge here.
Challenging the pitch.
Powered by T-Mobile. And the Red Sox get it right. That's strike 3. Goldschmidt down looking. Well, we are timed right now for the 7th inning stretch. Yankees lead 4-0. Brought to you by Car Shield. 4-6-0 for the Yanks, 0-3-0 for Boston. Max Fried strong through 6 with 7 strikeouts. Rosario, a 3-run home run and a sac fly, so he's driven in all 4 runs. Ranger Suarez, a mixed bag, 4 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs. And Jaron Duran has done the most damage against Fried with 2 doubles, so he has 2 of the 3 hits.
This is where you get to see if Max Fried is able to make adjustments on Jaron Duran. He's made mistakes up in the zone with his 4-seamer. He's had a lot of success off him in his career. He was 0 for 13 with 6 strikeouts coming into the night. However, he's made some mistakes, so will he approach him different?
27 scoreless innings for Fried against the Red Sox, including the postseason last year. And a strike to Duran. Duran came into the game with 1 hit in his last 17 at-bats. And he wasn't in the lineup last night. And Alex Cora didn't pull any punch. He said not swinging the bat well. That's why he's not in the lineup. But then he gives him a gift to have him in the lineup against a tough lefty, and he responds.
2 doubles.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that stat we gave with 27 innings wasn't just Rice. It was the Yankees have not given up a run in 27 innings dating back to the postseason. You have the 8 shutout innings, and for Slittler, the 9th inning by the bullpen, and then yesterday and today. Slow roller in front of the plate. Wells waved off Fried, makes the play.
That's a jam sandwich. He's gotten the ball out, extended it over the plate where he's up in the zone. He's been able to drive it to left field. Not this one. Try this little sinker in on your 5th. Really good play by Austin Wells because he can really run. Has to go down and get it barehanded. Doesn't have time to go down with the glove and the hand, makes a really accurate throw. Really good play.
There's Caleb Durbin, 0 for 2 against Fried.
Oh.
1-0. Now 2-0. It's a big day in Yankee history.
Tell me why.
In 1903, the first game ever played by this franchise. It was called the Highlanders then, but they lost 3-1 to Washington.
Time of game, 57 minutes.
That I don't have. Nice play there by Caballero. He'll get Durbin. Now, a lot of people look at the Yankees. The Yankees started in 1903. Red Sox actually won the championship that year. And the Yankees became a franchise after the Baltimore Orioles. They played in 1901 and 1902, but they didn't become the Yankees. They went out of business, and then the Yankees became the Highlanders, and in 1913 became the Yankees. So that's why their history starts at 1903, not 1901. That makes sense?
That was complicated. Couldn't you just said the Highlanders started in 1901, then the...
But they didn't.
Or what year did they start?
1903. Fly ball left field. Bellinger's there. I'll straighten things out with Joe. We'll come back in the 8th inning. 4-0 Yanks. Tuesday to take on the Rangers. Don't miss a minute of Yankees coverage beginning at 7:30, only on Prime. We go to the 8th inning. Still on the mound, Eduardo Rivera. Gotten 4 outs. The more he pitches, the better chance he goes down tomorrow. And he'll face Judge.
Okay, Michael, look at this matchup. This is 6'7" versus 6'7". Doesn't Aaron Judge look a lot taller?
And they're both 99s. I think because Rivera is a bit stocky, so he doesn't look as elongated.
But he's also on top of a mound, and he still doesn't look as tall.
Judge has walked twice and singled. He has 2 runs scored. 9 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Fouled it off, 2-2. So the Yankees have 5 shutouts through 23 games. And the most they've ever had as a franchise through 23 games is 6. Grabbed there by Story against Judge. That was 6 in 1958. And they've done 5 shutouts in the first 23 games 3 times, 1910, 1932, 1955. So it's kind of rare stuff.
Yeah, this day and age, yeah. And I know that, like, it seems like there's less runs sometimes scored, but with all the guys that hit the ball at the ballpark, it's really hard to throw a shutout. It's one bad pitch.
Big cut by Bellinger. One and one. We're in the 8th inning. It's 4-0 Yankees over the Red Sox. Game 2 of this 3-game set. Up the middle and on the short hop, backhanded by Story, and he gets Bellinger.
Tell you what, he's had some pretty good at bats tonight to come up with an 0 for so far. Lined out and third, hit a ball hard in the fifth.
And that might end his 9-game hitting streak.
Yes.
Here's Giancarlo Stanton, 2 doubles in 3 at-bats. One and 0.
Pretty impressed with this young man, his ability to throw strikes in this type of situation. Using all his pitches.
How about that? Trevor Story, 3 assists, 3 putouts for Contreras. Yankees go down in order, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. Well, come celebrate Star Wars Day at Yankee Stadium on Saturday, May 2nd. There'll be appearances by your favorite Star Wars characters, and the first 18,000 guests in attendance are going to receive a Max Fried Mandalorian bobblehead. Tickets going fast, so get your tickets today at Yankees.com, and may the force be with you. Sweet Caroline between innings, a staple here at Fenway Park. Max Fried still in, and he deals to Kiner-Falefa, and there's a strike.
You know, I'm glad I won't be there for that Star Wars night.
Why's that?
I used to get so freaked out that night. I never watched the movie, but I didn't. The characters made me nervous when I would see him dressed up at the ballpark.
Really?
Oh.
Now, can you please tell everybody, Joe, what kind of a good teammate I am?
You're a great teammate.
You said, you gave me orders the last time you were in the booth. You said, I need a hockey jersey.
And you got me one.
And I brought it to Boston.
And I have it in my suitcase, and it's going home with me. I truly appreciate it.
Not many people would do that.
No.
Not really one of kind.
No. Well, I knew not to ask Paul, because there's no chance he would have remembered.
But here's something I'm going to stick up for Paul.
Really?
Because you only get one. Now, everybody gets one. And he had one. And he said, here, why don't you take mine, because I know Joe wants one.
Oh, what a good
How about
friend.
that,
That's partner.
Yeah. Oh, what a play by McMahon. Whoa. Outstanding. Took a double away. An absolute bullet by IKF.
Well, the play that he made to end the 6th and that play are truly remarkable. I mean, this is great range. You can see him hop like a tennis player would, and he dives for this ball. I mean, he's made some spectacular defensive plays, and we know that Aaron Boone loves to play him when Max Fried is pitching because there's so many things. Max Fried is like, wow. And
What
that's a for sure double, yeah. When you're struggling to score runs, when it rains, it pours, Michael.
That was some play.
I was amazed at the play he made in the 6th inning with ease when he was way in the, beyond the foul line in the strike that he threw to Goldschmidt. It was like, oh, just an easy old play. That's not an easy play either.
Yeah, the one on Monasterio to end the 6th, and then this one on IKF. I think this might have been tougher. It was hit harder.
Correct, but it didn't require a throw.
No throw. Yep.
So I'm going the other one's tougher.
The 0-2. 1-2. Rafaela is 0 for 3 against Fried with 2 strikeouts. Fried at 95 pitches. There's double-barreled action in the Yankee bullpen. Who knows if that ball gets past McMahon, they might have gone to the bullpen. And now a strikeout of Rafaela. And that's the 8th strikeout for Fried.
Well, coming into this game, Rafael had an 18-game on-base streak and threw 4 changeups in a row, and he never adjusted. That leadoff spot has been a sore spot for the Red Sox. Rafael is probably going to go into Alex Cora's office and say, can I go back to 6th? I hadn't been striking out. I was getting on base.
Here's Wilson Contreras. And a strike. Contreras walked, and he's 0 for 2. 1-1.
Think about the tunneling on those 2 pitches. The cutter that starts away and cuts over the outside part, and then he throws a changeup in the same spot that just runs off. Contreras didn't swing at either one of them. I think he likes the ball middle in, and that's why he's letting them go.
Curve. What happened there, Joe?
Well, let's just say he had a bad read on what that pitch was. Wasn't a good swing, but he had a bad read. He's laughing at himself, and that's probably important at this time. Just put that behind you. Don't think about it anymore.
This will be the 100th pitch for Fried. Swing and a miss, got him. The 9th strikeout for Fried. 8 shutout innings. A big-time performance by the Yankee lefty. Finish.
Oh, what a finish. What a remarkable changeup and curveball he had tonight. He struggled with his cutter and his four-seamer early. He found it later in the game and just started mowing hitters down. 9 strikeouts in 8 innings. Probably his best pitching outing this year.
Ryan McMahon will lead off his first at bat after 2 brilliant plays at third, and he fouls it away. So we start the 9th inning. Yankees up 4-0. I remember growing up and watching Yankee games at Fenway Park. And the rule used to be, Joe, oh, you can't start lefties there. If you got a good lefty, you could start him anywhere,
Yes,
including
you can.
here.
Yes, you can. And it used to be you wanted lefties at Yankee Stadium.
Yes. And now that doesn't work perfectly either.
I think the important thing when you're a lefty is that you have the ability to pitch inside to right-handed hitters, that you can speed them up to get them out of the way. I think you want to get them out of the way when you can.
And it started to turn with like the Bruce Hurst of the world. I mean, if you know how to pitch, it doesn't matter what arm you throw with, even here.
No, it doesn't. If you can locate like a Max Fried can, and you can mix your pitches and give them a lot of different looks and never, have a set pattern, you can be successful whether you're left-handed or right-handed.
Swing and a miss. McMahon down on strikes.
Michael, I was telling you earlier about this young man that's pitching. These were the nights that I hated, in a sense that you've had a young man come up and do a really good job, Eduardo Rivera. He's going to end up giving him like 3 1/3 innings. And you're going to say, young man, I'm sorry. You were fantastic and you made an impression, but you have to go down because we need a starter tomorrow. And it just stinks.
Yeah, you did your job. You did it really well, but the reward is you have to go down.
You got to go down. And we want to keep you as a starter, keep you built up in case we need some starting pitching.
And even if you didn't have to call up a starter, if you have a guy give you long relief, he's not available for another 3 or 4 days.
No.
So you're going to bring back an arm that you can use.
Yeah, at 22 years old, they're not going to use him for 4 days, I'm sure.
High fly ball, right center. And Abreu makes the play. Here's a look at the Yankees' upcoming schedule, brought to you by Booking.com. One more game against the Red Sox, an earlier start, 6:10, then on to Houston for 3 against the Astros, and finishing up a long road trip with 3 in Arlington against the Texas Rangers.
Did you notice on that fly ball, Rafaela gave way to Abreu? And usually the center fielder has priority. Is it, I have 2 gold gloves and you only have 1, so get out of the way? I mean, what happened there?
It's a good, maybe they talk about it before time, and they're both great defenders.
Yeah.
They both have that gold, patch on the glove.
And I was talking to you earlier today that Rafaela was a plus 21 outs above average in center field last year. He's 0 this year. The play that he made last night doesn't count for a +1. It stayed the same at 0.
So it was 0 coming into last night?
Yes. Here's the wave off. You see it? Yeah, no. I'm the center fielder. No, you don't. I got 2 gold gloves and you got 1. Yeah. He did not get credit for an out above average. That was not an average play.
That is weird.
And McMahon is probably
we've got to look
2.
at McMahon tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'd give him a lot of points for that last one.
Well, you can only give him a +1.
I'd give him more. I'd give him more.
+5?
Yeah. Hey, I'm all for analytics, but I still think defensive stats are an inexact science. They still are.
I think so.
And Chisholm pops it up. Who's going to get it? Contreras makes the play. Jazz 0 for 4. Yankees are trying to get the final 3 outs in the bottom of the ninth. For name that Yankee. Those are the clues. Those are the teams, and the answer is the King, Jim Leyritz. This guy knew how to rise to the big moments. This was '95. The stadium was shaking after that home run. And then Wallers got the Yankees back in the game. They were trailing, got them back into the series. And then '99, he hit the final home run of that century. He just had something about him. 3-time world champion with the Yanks. The game-tying 3-run home run of the 8th. In the '96 series, 8 home runs and 72 plate appearances in his postseason career.
Michael, I'm not sure that the home run he hit in Atlanta wasn't the biggest home run in a game that I was a part of.
It was huge.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for a call to the bullpen, brought to you by Taco Bell, and it's Brent Hedrick trying to get the final 3 outs.
Two-thirds of an inning last night. He gave up a hit and a strikeout, Michael. I always put 2/3 plus because he sat down and came back out. So it's a little more taxing than just 2/3 of an inning.
1-2 on Abreu. Abreu had one of the 3 hits against Fried, a single left in the 3rd. Ground ball, Jazz Chisholm. 1 away. Should be a fun game tomorrow as Cam Schlittler will be on the mound, where he used to sit in the stands as a Red Sox fan. He did pitch on this mound in high school. This is the first time in his professional career. There's been a lot of chatter about it. Online hate toward he and his family. But he said he's looking forward to it.
Oh, I'm sure he is. I mean, what a dream come true for him. Pitching in high school here thinking, God, I hope one day I can pitch on this mound.
Line drive. It's a base hit off the bat of Trevor Story.
And now he's doing it as a visiting player, but he is a big league pitcher that is really effective.
And guys, he told me he came to Fenway Park for the first time around when he was 12 years old. He sat somewhere behind home plate, and it's where he started to fall in love with the game of baseball. I asked him what 12-year-old Cam would have thought if I told him he was getting the ball against the Red Sox wearing a Yankees jersey. He said, well, I don't think he would have believed you, but I'm happy I'm at where I'm at now. Now, the Yankees were here on Monday. He actually went to where he went to college, Northeastern, to throw. He said that place really helped shape him as well as a person. As a pitcher, he just wanted some quiet time and to be able to play catch with no distractions around him. Really enjoyed his time at Northeastern as well as growing up in the Boston area.
So our coverage tomorrow on Yes starts at 4, and Meredith is going to have a long interview with Cam Schlittler, so another reason to tune in. Remember, the game first pitch starts at 6:10, a little bit earlier than the first 2 starting times in the series. And how do you follow up 8 innings of shutout ball, 12 strikeouts in a do-or-die game?
9 and 13 tomorrow.
That's how you do it. 2-1 on Monasterio.
Could drop a no-hitter.
Could do that. 3-1. So Bednar getting ready. If Monasterio gets on, then it becomes a save situation because the tying run would be on deck. And a strike from Hedrick. This is that situation you talked about yesterday. The 4 runs, it's not a save situation, but you kind of get a little nervous.
Yeah.
Payoff. That one's looped into center field. Grisham is there to make the play. Red Sox down to their final out.
Grisham kind of act like he was trying to deke the runner on sometimes when there's a ball hit in front of you and you're acting like you're going to catch it, so they stay at the base and they don't get, you know, where they can advance when it drops. But he had it all the way. Possible bunting situation here, Michael. Duran doesn't bunt a lot, but he has the ability with the speed. You need base runners.
Runner goes. They'll let him take second on defensive indifference.
That's the 3rd one they've had in this series. It's not a bad thing to give up. It usually means that you're winning. You can see he likes that high fastball, Michael. He seems to go after it all the time. I think if you want to throw fastballs, if you can sink them in about waist high on him, I think you can really tie him up. That high 4-seamer out over the plate, though, he seems to get to pretty well.
And Boston down to its final strike. Rosario with the big 3-run home run set the tone. The 1-2. 2-2.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that Trevor Story hasn't went to third base, and I know his run doesn't mean anything, but if Duran was to get on via a walk or something, then you have first and third, and then he can run, where it's a little tougher to run first and second with a right-handed hitter coming up.
2-2. 3-2. We are 1 pitch away from seeing Bednar in the game.
Because I'd like to take the force out away.
Bednar's ready if this batter gets on. The payoff. And that's up the middle and past a diving Caballero into center field. That will score Story. The Red Sox break the scoreless streak against the Yankees. Now it's 4-1 Yanks.
Yeah, you got a ground ball. It's exactly what you want, but it was just out of the reach of Caballero. And even if he comes up with the speed of Duran, I don't think he's going to get him. He's hit the ball hard 3 times tonight. He's got 3 hits. It's been a bright spot for the Boston Red Sox tonight, and I think you're right, Michael. I think you're going to see Bednar.
I'm telling you what, though, I'm a little surprised, Joe, because this is Blake, and he doesn't bring the hook. Because the way the save situation is, if it's a 3-run lead in the 9th, it's a save situation. If you pitch the last 3 innings effectively, it's a save no matter what the score is. And in the 9th inning, if the tying run ever gets to the on-deck circle, then it becomes a save situation. So it's 1 right now. Because you have the batter up to the plate, Durbin, and Wong would be the tying run on deck. But they are not going to Bednar yet. So they used Bednar yesterday.
Yeah,
Maybe
in that
they want him available
situation
for tomorrow.
Yes, if they could, because they will not have Hedrick for tomorrow. So then you would have Tim Hill as your left-hander against the lefties, Fernando Cruz, and Bednar. And let's remember that Cam hasn't really went over 6 innings very much this year. So they've kind of held him back, I believe, a little bit. It's a long year, an increase in innings.
And a strike. Runner takes second base on defensive indifference. And the 0-2. 1-2. So this would have been only the 3rd time in Yankee Red Sox history that they would have shut the Red Sox out 2 straight games at Fenway Park. They did it in '43 and they did it in 2002. And that one will get away from Wells as Duran moves to 3rd.
The toughest balls to block are the ones that are way out in front of home plate. And you see this is way out in front, and because they come up so high, and it's hard to deaden it off your chest protector when it's so high. So that's a tough block. That runner doesn't really mean anything. The important one is the guy at the plate.
Still 2-2.
Because if he gets on, the tying run will come to the plate with the next hitter.
And the 2-2. 3-2. Well, you just don't want the tying run to come to the plate in this ballpark.
No, and they have a number of left-handed hitters on the bench. I would think that you might see Yoshida yet.
Big cut there by Durbin. Durbin 0 for 3 tonight. They've got the 3 lefties on the bench and Narvaez. Max Fried dominant for 8 innings, and now Hedrick trying to get the final 3 outs. Ground ball, backhanded by Caballero. The throw to first, the scoop by Goldschmidt, the win by the Yankees. They hold on, they win this one 4-1 to take the first 2 games of this 3-game set at Fenway.
Yeah, outstanding play by Caballero. It goes deep in the hole, but watch how quick he gets rid of it, Michael. He gets rid of it, doesn't worry about throwing it in the air. Let me give him a good long hop for Goldie can pick it. He's been doing that for a long time. Another great performance by a starter. You get a bunch of RBIs from Rosario tonight, and the Yankees come up with another big win, Michael.
And Hedrick happy that Bednar doesn't have to come into the game. And the Yankees hold on to win this one 4-1. 4-6-0, beating 1-5-0. All 4 runs driven in by Ahmed Rosario, the 3-run home run, and the sac fly. So yesterday, a shutout. The game against the Royals, a shutout. Yankees are going for 3 straight, but the Duran single foiled that, and the bottom line is they get the win, and that's really all they care about. Well, now it's time for the Mazda player of the game, Joe.
Well, it's Max Fried. He was brilliant tonight. His curveball and changeup were fantastic. He gives you 8 strong innings, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks, only 3 hits, and look at the bottom falling out of this changeup and the curveball. He got in trouble in the second with second and third with nobody out and struck out the next 3 hitters, and that was all for the Red Sox to challenging to score a run.
All right, so we go down to the field. Meredith Marakovitz has Ahmed Rosario.
Thank you, Michael. Ahmed, you were able to get them on the board early with your 3-run shot. Suarez threw you a changeup. You swung through it. Next pitch, another changeup, and you made sure you didn't miss. What adjustments did you make to connect with that pitch?
Ese jonrón, ¿verdad? Temprano en el juego, 3 carreras, abanicas el primer cambio, sin embargo conecta en el segundo, ¿verdad? ¿Cuál fue el ajuste en ese momento que te permitió conectar?
Mira, el ajuste fue simple, me quedé con el mismo plan que yo llevé, tú sabes, agresivo, tratar de buscar un picheo en el cual yo pudiera hacerle daño.
Yeah, the adjustment was simple. You know, stick with the plan that I had in mind. Be aggressive, look for a pitch that I could do some damage, and I just stuck with it.
What about some of the at-bats by your teammates prior to you stepping up to the plate? They made him throw a lot of pitches before he even got you in the first.
Compañeros antes de ese turno al bate, ¿verdad? Tomaron muy buenos turnos, lo hicieron que tiraron muchísimos picheos. ¿Qué tú tienes que decir de ellos?
Bueno, yo creo que sí, crédito a mis compañeros también, tú sabes, fueron selectivos, no se fueron con los picheos de él hoy, por eso yo creo que esa fue la clave.
Yeah, a lot of credit to my teammates. You know, they didn't swing at the pitcher's pitch. You know, they waited, they made him throw pitches, and I think that was key tonight.
You gave Max Fried a little bit of a cushion, and he went straight to work. What impressed you about the way he threw the ball tonight?
Y obviamente, ¿verdad? Le dan esa ventaja a Max Fried. Sin embargo, hace tremendo trabajo esta noche de hoy. ¿Qué te impresionó de él?
Mira, tremendo trabajo para Max Fried también el día de hoy. Yo creo que la ejecución de los picheos tuvieron ahí. En verdad, yo creo que eso fue lo mejor. Crédito para él.
Yeah, Max was incredible tonight. You know, I think the pitch execution was there for him, and he took care of business, and he was amazing.
That's now 5 in a row for you guys. What's been the biggest difference over this span?
Y obviamente, ¿verdad? 5 en línea para el equipo. ¿Cuál ha sido la diferencia más grande?
Bueno, creo que la diferencia más grande es que estamos ganando. Tú sabes, y yo creo que seguir con el mismo plan, seguir con el mismo approach y salir a dar lo mejor de cada uno de nosotros, a disfrutarlo.
The biggest difference is that we're winning. You know, the same approach, the same focus, the same amount of work on a daily basis, and I think, you know, that's giving us the victories right now.
Well, whatever it is working. Ahmed, congratulations. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Send it back to you.
Well, thank you to all. The Yankees with a season-high 5-game winning streak, 4-6-0, beating 1-5-0. Time of the game, 2:28. Max Fried, his 3rd win. Suarez took the 2nd loss. We saw Rosario with his 4 RBIs. Ranger Suarez pitched 2 outs into the 5th. Special thanks to producer Troy Benjamin, director Dan Barr, Mike Webb, and the executive producer is Jared Ames Bosnack. Hey, don't forget to join us next Tuesday when the Yankees head to Arlington for a matchup against the Rangers. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. on Prime, with first pitch coming just after 8. For more coverage of tonight's game, you have to tune into the Yes Network for the WB Mason postgame show. Once again, the final score. It's the New York Yankees 4 and the Boston Red Sox 1. For Joe Girardi and Meredith Marakovitz, I'm Michael Kay saying see ya from Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. Yankees have won 5 in a row. Have a good night, everybody. So long.